And we'll continue with A House Like a Lotus by Madeleine L'Engle. I was happier at home, too. The fact that I hated school no longer seemed important. Max was my teacher, as Mother and Daddy had been my teachers on Gaia, and because I was learning and felt happy about it, I was more patient with the little kids. I helped them get ready for bed without being prodded, read to them if Mother was working with the computer in the lab. I let Kate borrow my favorite necklace for one of the school dances. Zan and I didn't spat as much as usual. And at least a couple of times a week, I did my homework over at Boulaire. When I'd finished with the written stuff, Max would pull a book down from one of the library shelves and have me read aloud to her. You're going to have more than one opinion when you come to choose a career. You have a lot of acting ability. I'm too ugly. You aren't ugly at all. You have the kind of face that comes alive when you're speaking. Why would I want to paint you if you were ugly? I'll take you over Kate any day. Max taught me to see the world around me with her painter's eye. Now I noticed not only the loveliness of a new moon seen through a fringe of Spanish moss, I saw also the delicacy of a spider's web on the grass between two tree roots. Saw the little green lizard camouflaged under a leaf, and this seeing the particular wonder of the ordinary was reflected in what I wrote for school. But if Miss Zalowski noticed it, she didn't particularly like it, and Miss Zalowski was the one who gave the grades, and I had to get good grades. Why? Max demanded. One does not live by grades alone. I want to go to a good college, and I need to get a scholarship. After all, there are 7 of us to educate, so grades matter. Max put the back of her hand to her forehead in a swift gesture of apology. Of course, stupid of me. Like most people who've never had to worry about money, I can be very dense. So, how do we win Miss Zalowski? Get her to give you A's instead of B's. What does Miss Zalowski want? That's the first question you have to ask. You don't have to compromise in order to please her. Find out what she's looking for, and then give her that in the very best way you possibly can. I don't want to give Miss Zalowski anything. You really dislike her, don't you? She grades unfairly. You are very opinionated, Polly. Part of becoming a mature woman is learning compassion. I know I'm opinionated. I'm sorry. Don't be sorry. Just think. You talk about being the odd man out. How do you think Miss Z feels? It took me a while to answer. Lonely. And maybe insecure. And that may help explain why obscure poetry is comforting to her. I'll bet she loves footnotes and all the vines of the groves of academia. The next time she gives you a free writing assessment, give her a well-documented essay. It'll be good discipline for you. It was. Max made me see the fun of cross-referencing and finding out. For instance, what was happening in the world of science when Montaigne was writing his essays, and what the lineup of nations was, and who was painting, and what was the popular music of the day, and it worked. Miss Zalowski didn't seem such a bore to me, and her nasal southern accent didn't grate so, and she gave me A's. Max taught me to understand that Miss Zalowski was far lonelier than I was. She taught me to see that some of the kids who drank and slept around were lost and groping for something they couldn't find. But she didn't have much patience with those who hunted down animals and birds. Sadism isn't limited to the rich and corrupt. One doesn't tolerate it even when it comes from ignorance and stupidity. Then, come out on the porch. I brought in a Cape Jessamine bud this morning. It's blooming in a small crystal bowl, and the air is full of its scent and the promise that spring is just around the corner. Through Max's eyes, I saw more than I'd ever seen before. And we'll pause there.